Hey, what's up everyone? So in this video, I'll be showing you how to add an admin on our application right here. So we previously covered authentication using React and Node.js, and also we covered this entire shopping cart using React and Redux toolkit. So if you wish to learn how to do all this, I have a complete series here on YouTube showing you how to do it in a step-by-step manner. So you can create the shopping cart, and also you can add authentication using these two videos. You can add Stripe payment using these two videos, and also you can learn how to perform image upload and create a product using this particular form, which is at our admin dashboard. But now at this point, any user can be able to create a product whether they are an admin or not. So I want to show you how to add an admin to make sure that only admin user can be able to perform this operation in this particular page. So first of all, what I'll do is that I'll open the backend here, and then I'll open the models, and then we have the user here, and we can add a new property to the user, which is isAdmin property. So right here I'll say isAdmin, and right here I can include the type to be Boolean and to have a default value of false. So initially, when a user registers for an account, their isAdmin property will be false by default. So I can go ahead and save that user model. And if you wish to have this source code, I'll have a link at the description section below to the source code. Okay, cool. Now the next thing is to go to utils, and this is where we were generating a token using JWT, and we also need to pass that property right here so that we can be able to access it from the front end and use it for conditional rendering. So right here I'll pass isAdmin to be user.isAdmin, and then I can save that. And then to create an admin is very easy. We can do it manually from MongoDB database. So from MongoDB database, this is our user here. We have another one here. To make this user an admin, we can simply edit the user, and we can add another field. So add a field after password, and I'll say is admin, and we can make these to be true. So we can change the property here to be Boolean. So I'll scroll here and look for Boolean, and right here you can say true, and then I'll click update. So this way now we have an admin user, a default admin user. And if you wish to create more admin user, you can do the same, or you can create a functionality on the admin dashboard where you can toggle the isAdmin property from false to true. Okay, cool. Now this is not enough. We need to protect our routes. So for example, we need to protect our, let me show you, our product route for creating the product right here, to make sure that only an admin will be able to call this particular route and be able to create a product. Now to do that, we usually make use of what we call a middleware function. So let us create a new folder, and we'll do that inside the backend, and I'll call it middleware. And right here we can create a new file. I'll call it auth.js. So for you to create a product, first of all, you'll need to be logged in, and then second of all, you'll need to be an admin. So right here we will create two functions. One function will make sure that a user is logged in, and then the second function will make sure that the user is an admin. So to do this, first of all, I'll need to bring in JWT. So I'll import JWT here, and then I can go ahead and create a function called auth, which will accept requests, response, and next. So whenever we make a request to this particular API endpoint, what we will be doing is that we will be passing a token at the headers of our request. So we will read that token from the headers. So right here, I can read the token from the headers. So I'll say const token will be equal to request dot headers, and we will give it a variable when we include it at the headers. And there is like a convention of naming it X auth token. So we get the token from the headers. So if when making the request we don't have a token, we want to make a check here. So I'll say if we don't have a token, then we will return a message to the user. So we'll say return res.status, and then this will be for one, and then we'll say dot send, and we can have a message access denied, not authenticated. So if we don't have a token, that means that you are not authenticated. Okay, now if we have a token, then this line will not be executed. Therefore we will continue down here to verify whether this token is valid. So this is how we verify the token. So I'll say try. We will get the secret key from the environment variable. So I'll just like copy this one and I'll paste it here. So we get the secret key from the environment variable. And then the second thing is to verify. So we have a method in JWT called verify, and whatever we should pass is this token and the secret key used to sign the token. So right here I can say token, and then we pass the secret key, and whatever this will return is a decoded user. So right here we can say const our user will be equal to jwt.verify. We pass the token and the secret key. Now the next thing that we can do is that we can include this user in our request. So we can change whatever is included in the request. Now we can have request right here, and we can add our own property called user, and we set that to be this user. Okay, now after that we need to call this next, and whatever this means is that we are passing functionality to the next middleware function. If we don't do that, then the execution of this function will stop at this point. Now in case of an error, we need to catch that error. So right here you can say catch. So this we will have an exception, and whatever we will send to the user is res.status here with a message, and right here I'll send a status code of 400, and the message will be access denied, invalid auth token, invalid auth token. So maybe the token has expired or something, and so on. So that token is invalid. Therefore, they cannot like proceed to make whichever request they want to make. So this is how we verify whether a token is valid or not, or whether a user is authenticated or not. Now, the next thing that we need to do is to verify that a user is an admin. So right here, we can say const isAdmin, and now this is the next middleware function that we will have. We will have access to request, response, and next. And then whatever we'll do here, we'll have an arrow function, and now we can call this auth middleware function in here. Like we can make use of it in here. So I can say auth, and this auth have request, it has response, and also we can have a callback function right here. Now, the cool thing now is that we have the user in our request. So right here we can say, we can perform a check. So if a request and then dot user dot is admin is true. So if this is true, then what we do is that we take the user to the next middleware function. So right here I'll just call next, else we return an error message. So right here I'll just like copy this message, then right here we'll pass 3 for 3. So this means that user is not authenticated. This means that the request was like invalid, and then this one is like forbidden, like you don't have enough, authentication or authorization capabilities to perform that request. So right here we have for 3, then access denied, and we'll have not authorized. So this is not authorized. So now we have created 2 middleware functions. This is just to make sure that a user is authenticated. For example, we can use this middleware function, for example, on a user profile. And this one is for like admin situations, when admin operations like creating a product, making changes to orders, and so on. So we make use of this isAdmin. Now we can come to products here, and we just need to pass it right here before we proceed with this async function. So right here we can just bring in isAdmin, and we should actually import it. So let's import. So I'll say const. Actually we didn't export them, so let's export them down here. So I'll say module dot exports. These will be equal to auth and also isAdmin. I'll save that, and then now we can be able to import them. So I'll say const isAdmin, and this will be equal to require. Here we will have middleware and auth, and I'll save that. So now when we make a post request to this particular endpoint, it should like basically give us an error. So I have both the backend and frontend running, and we can try to make a request to that endpoint, and you'll see that we will get an auth error. So if I come to online shop, and let me open the console here so that we see the response, and I'll also like hit refresh. Now I'll try to like create a product here. Yeah, I can use a thumbnail here, doesn't matter. Then brand other name, this is just a thumbnail. I'm setting it as an NFT here, very expensive. Short description, NFT. And when I submit, we should basically get an error, so it shouldn't go through. So I'll submit, and we have a post request error here. So 500 internal server error. Actually, this is not the error I was expecting. So I'm not expecting 500. So we have another issue. Let's check it out. Let's see. We have another different issue. So request.headers is not a function. So at this we should pass request.header, not headers. So I'll go ahead and save that. So that is like a different issue which I wasn't expecting. Let's see if now we get the error that I was expecting. Okay, I'll go ahead and submit, and now look, we have for 1 access denied, not authenticated. So the reason why it said not authenticated is because we are not passing our token at the headers when making the request. So next, let me show you how to pass the token at the headers when making this request. But that means that this middleware function is being executed first before we even make these other requests. So now to include the token at the headers of the request, at the API here, this is a file inside our slices. I have created this function called set headers, and right here we have const headers, which is an object, and it's simply setting a headers object where we have xauth token as the local storage dot get item. It gets the token from the local storage, in short. So we are simply setting xauth token to be the token from the local storage, and then we return these headers right here. Now, when making the HTTP request at the products create, make sure to include that as the third parameter here as set headers, okay? And that will include the xauth token property, and also together with the token. And now, whenever we make a request to our API, this middleware function auth will be called, and it will read the xauth token from the header, and then we can verify that the user is logged in. And if we make use of this, we'll also make sure that the user is an admin. So let's now test this one out when we already have like headers set. So I'll first actually log out and just hit refresh to just refresh everything, and then let's log in. So I'll log in as an admin here, log in. Now right now I cleared everything about the products in the database so that we can like create a fresh product. So now when we try to make this request, it should actually go through because this user is logged in and also this user is an admin. So right here I'll just like choose a file. I'll select this which is just a thumbnail, and I'll say thumb. Let's give it a price, super expensive NFT, and I'll go ahead and submit. And now when I submit, get this product created. So that is a message that is right here. I just included this. I didn't cover it in the last video. I forgot to include it, but the product is successfully created because we are now logged in and an admin. So if we try to make this request as a normal user, this should not go through. We should like get an error. So if I come right here, log out, then we log in as a normal user. I created this user, which is a normal user, and I try to log in. We log in, go to admin, products, create. Now if we try to create a product, I'll fill them out real quick. So although we are logged in, we shouldn't be able to create this product because we are not admins. So let's try to submit and see. Look, we get 403 forbidden. And unfortunately, we are also getting like product was created, which is weird. But let's see if it was created. So cannot read properties undefined reading name. So okay, I don't know what just happened, but it's clear that this product was not created. If we go to the dashboard and go to here and refresh, that product was not created because we are not admin users. So at the products here, we should basically have only one document. Okay, cool. So what we should do is that we should actually avoid normal user from accessing this particular page. They shouldn't access this route at all, okay, when creating a product. So not unless they are admins. So how we can do that is that we should go to the authorize and make sure we include the property right here. So we didn't include isAdmin here, so I'll say isAdmin, and we should also include it when decoding the user. So right here I'll highlight this one, then I'll use Control D to select all of them, so that at the end here I can hit enter and I'll be able to add isAdmin on multiple instances, so that we can say user dot isAdmin. Okay, so that way whenever we log in, whenever we load the user, so this is for register, whenever we register, we also include that admin property in our state. Okay, and I'll save. And now what I can do is that I can go to the dashboard, so components, then go to admin dashboard. So right here you can get the user from the state like this, make use of the use selector hook, then get the state like this. And now right here you can just have an if statement, and we'll have if this user is not an admin, so I'll say is admin. So if this is false, whatever will happen is that we will return just a p tag here, and we can say access denied because you are not an admin. So yeah, so that way when we come right here, actually we should first log out and log in again so that we include that instead. So I'll log in as a normal user, just like this, and I'll paste that login. Now if we try to go to admin, this should be giving us this message. So I don't know, let's see if isAdmin is included here. Email login, we don't have isAdmin at our properties. I don't know what happened. So when we refresh, that's when it's including it for some reason. So as a normal user, we get these access denied, but if I try to log in as an admin, we should actually be able to get to that page. Okay, so chaoo@gmail.com, then we include the password as this one, login and admin. And now as an admin, we can be able to create a product. Even when I refresh, we still can be able to do that. Okay, so cool, we can be able to protect this route, and also we are like also protecting the API endpoint using the middleware functions. Also you can conditionally render this is this admin right here, just use that property. So whatever you'll do is make use of this same concept at the navbar. I don't know if I should show you that, but that should be straightforward. You get the user from the state. So now right here I'm calling this auth. I think for consistency you can just use the same thing, so maybe I should just change this one to auth. Just for consistency, I'll close the application, and now you can make use of this auth.isAdmin to display this link right here. Okay, so right here I can say auth.isAdmin. So you can use this question mark here, and if the user is admin, then you'll go ahead and show this, else you'll include full colon, you'll show null, you'll show nothing. So I'll save. As simple as that, you can dynamically display that link. And yeah, that is it for this video. And just to do a recap, if you want to protect your backend routes, what you need to do is to create a middleware function that verifies the token and also make sure that that user is an admin before going ahead and actually making a request to a particular backend route or endpoint. And now this is called a custom middleware function, which will be executed before the rest of the code. And that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a thumbs up and also support my channel by subscribing or joining as a member. And I'll see you in the next one.